Today we're going to be installing this rain barrel next to this downspout right here. I got this rain barrel kit off Amazon and it is great, but you might be thinking, how do I actually install it once I drill a hole, because I can't fit my hand down inside of this barrel? And I'm just using a metal hanger here, and I made this little loop on the end. I slide this on so that I can pull it through with this little loop here, and it won't pull through the back. It's been working very well. One thing to note about this kit off Amazon, I'll link this in the description, but it only fits through one of the bung holes. The finer thread hole, it doesn't fit through, but the coarse thread, it does fit through. So keep that in mind when you're drilling your hole. I mean, you can really drill it anywhere, but it'll be easier to access if it's closer to the hole with the coarse threads. So I'm gonna put this one kind of straight down. Let's do it. I haven't had the cutout slip out before, but that happens, so I had to get it out. We got our hole cut, and so I'll show you now. It's pretty simple. We got this on my hanger. I'm gonna drop it in the hole. So you can see it's poking out here, and then you can just pull it through like that. And then this is reverse threaded. So going to the left tightens it. So you can pull on this right here to get it through while you tighten. And then just push that back through. And it comes out. Pretty easy. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. To get the most amount of water, you would just cut your downspout and have it dump directly into the barrel, and then once it's full, it would just overflow. I have subsurface drainage. I do not want my overflow just spilling onto the ground. I want it continuing into the pipes, going out to the street. One of the most popular options is to cut a section of your downspout out, install this thing, and then have it divert water into your barrel. I don't want to cut a section of this downspout out, so I found this little mechanism which allows you to drill a hole in the side, albeit it's a very large hole. But my thinking is, if I don't want this anymore, I'll just be left with a hole that I could plug instead of a section that I would then have to put in, and I have two seams if I ever want to get rid of this rain barrel. So I like this. You're gonna need a 2 1/8 inch hole saw to drill the hole in the side of the downspout. We'll fold this up, we'll put it inside, and then we're gonna get it piped up to this rain barrel. Now let's talk rain barrels real quick. You can of course get rain barrels online. They're not cheap. The cheapest ones I saw, and I have a few of them, they look nicer than this. They were $79 on Amazon. I'll put a link. These I got off Facebook Marketplace. They claim that they had food ingredients inside and they smelled like soy sauce. Whether that soy sauce was poured in after the fact to cover up a chemical smell, I have no idea. But I got these for $15 a piece off Facebook Marketplace, so way cheaper than anything you can buy online. So you can check Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever in your area looking for barrels. Now, this is not gonna be potable water for me. I'm also not even gonna be watering like a vegetable garden or anything like that. This is strictly gonna be for grass. So I'm not worried about what's coming off of my roof. I have asphalt shingles and the whole deal. So I'm really not worried about, maybe flushing some water first and then diverting water into the barrel. I'm just gonna have all the rainwater go in. This mechanism is going to be very susceptible to any debris that would be in this downspout. So I'm also gonna put a mesh filter up at the top of the downspout to try to keep any leaves and sticks out. Thankfully, I don't have any trees over my house, so my gutters are usually very clean. I just don't want this building up in the downspout itself. So we're gonna put something up there just in case. Let's get to it. So I'm gonna mark the height that I want for this. Essentially, the way this works is you want it level with your barrel. So whatever height water you want to put in your barrel, that's the height you're going to set this to and have it be level to the barrel. And then once your barrel fills, this little trough will fill up and the water will start diverting down the center and continue going down my downspout and into my subsurface drainage. So we're gonna get that marked. I'm gonna put this barrel here, kind of play around with it, make sure I get my height right, and then I'm gonna drill my hole. Now this diverter did come with 2 self-tapping screws, so we're going to throw those in here. First we're going to fold this up. A lot of people, depending on your application, are going to want to put their barrels up higher so that you get a good head pressure. You can hook a hose directly up to it and water whatever you want. I'm not worried about that because I'm going to be using a pump to power a sprinkler. So I don't need to get my barrels high. Also, with this type of barrel, I think the most efficient thing to do is actually stack them, because these bung holes here, they actually are threaded. And so you wouldn't have to drill a hole in the side or anything like that. You could just use the holes that are already there to actually get them plumbed up to each other. I'm not doing that. I don't want to build a rack. I'm just going to have them sitting on the ground here, and I'm going to connect them at the bottom. So I'm going to have the water dump in at the top, and we're going to go from there. This is what I'm using. It's not necessarily the best, but it's how I'm going to hook a hose from the barrel to this diverter here. So I will have to be able to reach in the barrel to access this. So I need to put it close to a bung hole here so that I can reach in and hold this while I tighten it up. But this is way less critical because it's not going to be holding pressure or barely any water. It's not nearly as critical as if you had a hole at the bottom. To save space in the long term, I am going to shorten this up. I might just use a flexible hose the whole way. Again, I just had this clear piece here just so that if it starts raining again, I can show you kind of how the water works. You'll see it flowing, and we'll also see, because I took the bottom off here, we'll also see if any rainwater bypasses this collection system here and comes out the bottom. So let's wait for some rain, and then after the fact, I'll tidy all this up. But that's what I have so far. And I have 3 more barrels, and what I'm probably gonna do is put them all here, connect them at the bottom so that they'll all fill up equally, and I'll be able to drain them equally. Now let's talk about what this system is not. Again, not for drinking water, not for watering plants that I'm gonna eat. This is just for me watering the grass, although I think it would be fine for other things. Also, to get the most amount of water, you truly would want to cut your downspout and have it dump into the barrel. This is not going to get 100% of the water coming down this downspout, and I'm okay with that because we get a decent amount of rain. We've just had really dry summers the last couple years, so when it does finally rain after 4, 5, 6 weeks, I want to be able to collect some water so that I can water some grass in between those rainstorms. I hope you learned something about collecting rainwater. I'm by no means the expert, but thank you so much for watching Break It Yourself. As always, don't forget to thumbs me up, and we will see you next time.